Hello and welcome back to another episode of How to Be a Movie Snob. We're back. And it feels like it's been a while.
Feels like it's been a minute.
It's been a while for us. I'm sure our mass public who has been following week by week may seem like it's just another week since I've expertly scheduled this out in the way us editors and producers do. But for us, it's been like 3 weeks since we've been in the studio. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, great to be back.
How you guys been? How's been the last 3 weeks been for y'all?
I'm not sure. It was spring break, so
bad. The kids were with you?
Still unsure of days, except that we're like, get up, gotta go to school.
I definitely left the country as soon as spring break happened, so my wife really was grateful for that, taking both kids away herself. She was super grateful for that.
She also threw her back out timely.
Yeah, surprise.
Typical.
So she wouldn't have to golf with me.
I heard that excuse before. She doesn't use that excuse to not golf with me. Isn't that weird?
I'm sure she has a lot of other excuses.
Pat, how was your week? Did you guys have spring break the same time we did?
Our spring break is next week.
Oh my, you
So
Washingtonians, you guys just don't make any
we're
sense.
We're heading to Chicago on Saturday.
Nice. Go see the White Sox lose? What are you doing here?
Yeah,
what are you doing there in Chicago?
Chi-town.
See some sights, watch some
sights.
baseball.
Nice.
I hope the weather's good.
I also hope this.
Did you know that my daughter has been to one Major League Baseball game, and that one Major League Baseball game was at Wrigley Field?
She chose wisely.
Yeah.
Well
She
done.
was 3.5. I don't think she remembers, but they were playing.
How could she forget?
They were playing the New York Mets, so that was kind of fun. My first game was
That is
New York
kind of
Mets
fun.
at,
Who
Wrigley
won?
Field. Honestly, I don't remember. Probably at that time.
Probably not the Mets.
I don't know. What year was it? Neither one. No, that might have been the year when they were both good. I don't remember who won the series though. Who in the playoffs? Who went further?
I don't remember
It depends. Depends. It's not remember 2015. Anyway.
No, 2015.
Let's just focus
speaking
on
of
the
Of
now.
years that end with
Places?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same, right? We're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of other countries.
Oh,
and
we'll get
things.
there. Yeah, I did not go to
Kind
Brazil.
of.
I did go down south. I did not go to. Did I give it away already? Did I just have a?
You started
floating-
to.
You kind of mentioned it.
Oh,
You
I
kinda
did just
goodness.
prop up the DVD
You
too.
did. That's true. All those people listening, like, what is it? Oh, she propped up.
Spoiler alert.
Monty Python, the Holy Grail. No, just kidding. Not
Oh.
really. Kind of related though. Guys, I feel a little like dystopian, but yet a little silly, yet somehow deadly serious, with a touch of some Hollywood plastic surgery. I don't know. It just there's this mood I'm in. It's a very
Eclectic.
quirky mood I'm in. I'm feeling like George Orwell, but I just missed him by like a year sort of situation. Like 1984 and a half, so to speak.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Orwell meets Fellini.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little 8.5 versus
There goes one of my fun facts.
Oh, bummer. Gave it away at the intro.
Oh.
Seth.
It's all right.
Come
So
on.
what movie did you watch to put you in this mood, Seth?
You
Yeah.
know, I watched it a couple weeks ago. And then
Before
a few
he
years
went
before
to
that.
a different country.
And then I let my cousin borrow the DVD, which I rented from the local library. And I did not watch Argentina. I did not cry for Argentina. No. I did not go down under. There was no Australia here. Nothing to be had. So there was no Hugh Jackman. No Nicole in this one. Nope.
Huh? We're really making them
they
work
weren't
for
really.
this one,
They
huh?
weren't really a blip at that point, were
No, I suppose not.
they? Not in this country.
I mean, yeah. I did not. Actually, don't know that many movies to start with countries. Those are the only two I had. Do you guys have any more that start with country names there? I felt.
Weirdly, Columbiana. Came
Oh,
up.
that's pretty good. That's
Uh,
pretty good.
Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of Columbia. I think we should just get to what the heck we
Okay.
watched.
And this movie is the best
Which is not
soccer
about the
team of
country.
all time. No. Oh, sorry. But it is at that same country. Mariah, what movie are you watching today? What are we talking about? Whatever.
Brazil.
No, and no, not like, wasn't there a movie?
Not a foreign film.
Yes, not the foreign film Brazil, which is also great, by the way. Real confused, by the way, if you going to watch one versus the other, that's a troublemaker. They're very different. In fact, this one is confusing completely why it's Brazil, but we'll talk about that a little bit, I'm sure. It's not confusing, but it is because it's actually this movie is arguably nothing but confusing. We'll address it. Pat, who directed this lovely film noir feature?
Monty Python's
Yes.
Terry Gilliam
Yes.
directed this movie
Whoop whoop.
Oh,
and
that surprised me.
co-wrote it.
Yep. Who stars in this movie, Mariah? We got a list.
It's a star-studded
I
kind
got
of
some
cast
if you
here.
missed some here. I got you
Well,
back.
we've got Jonathan Pryce.
Yes, sir.
We've got Robert De Niro.
Bob to his friends.
We got another
Another Bob.
Bob Hoskins.
Yes, Bob Hoskins.
Sir Ian Holm.
Hmm.
Michael Palin.
Yes, another alumni of the flying circus, if you will.
Yes. Catherine Hellmond. Otherwise known as Mona
Mona.
from Who's the Boss. That's the list. I forgot what's her face.
Kim. Forgot Kim Greased.
Kim Greased.
From
Yeah.
one of the saddest movies to ever watch.
Yeah.
It's about animals, so Seth doesn't care.
I don't care. Was it Throw Mama from the Train?
Actually, she was in some sort of mama thing, wasn't she?
She wasn't Throw Mama from the Train.
She wasn't
was.
Throw Mama from the
Yeah,
train.
but no. I'm talking about Homeward Bound,
Homeward
The Incredible
Bound.
Journey.
Who'd she?
The mother.
Oh, she was the mother.
She's
That's
the
right.
mom.
She's the mom in both.
In both. Look
Homeward
at that.
Bound movies.
1 and 2.
She came back for a second showing.
Oh my goodness. Let's go, guys. We like to start off with cold brews and hot takes because that's what we, started out with. They're like, hey guys, do you want to watch a weird movie that our spouses don't want to watch and drink a beer while we do it? That's kind of the thesis of this whole podcast right now. We're trying to be movie
Pretty
snobs.
And we don't like change, so we haven't changed it.
We haven't changed it. Well, we don't like change because it's just too heavy to carry around in our pockets.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Pat, help us out here. What's
We're
your
gonna
cold,
get there, right?
cold brew and hot take? What you got going for us today, buddy?
I debated this a little bit.
You are a master of that.
Yeah.
Edit.
I get it. For
Sorry.
as ridiculous as this movie is, it's actually a little boring.
Okay.
It feels like a contradiction,
Oh, that's so great. That's a little.
but
yeah.
that's my hot take.
Okay. That's kind of a boring hot take, but that's no. No, literally, that was a hot take.
What's your brew,
Take about
Pat? What's your brew?
brew. Oh, come on, he's got.
I'm just
Bodegasa.
rocking No, it's Lucille. It's the green
Hey.
can
It's
today,
the green one.
but it is still Georgetown.
There we go.
Good call.
Okay. Mariah,
Thanks,
do you have your
Costco.
hot take?
I have one.
Oh, I can't wait.
I even wrote one down.
What? Stop the presses.
Yesterday, I
Wow.
believe. I think it was yesterday. I even wrote hot take underline. Maybe it's not very good at all. This is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
Oh, that is great. I like that so much.
Thanks.
This
Yeah.
might make my top 10 Christmas movie now.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Certainly bumped Die Hard.
Consumers
Wow.
Consumers for Christ.
Wow, that is amazing. I love that so much.
I didn't know this was a Christmas. I didn't know this existed, honestly. But now that I know, it's on my Christmas watch list.
Oh, what are you drinking, Mariah?
Oh, I went with a Vortex IPA. Fort George.
This could be in the
Not
vortex.
Georgetown. Fort George.
No, Fort George for
Equally
sure.
delicious, I think.
Oh man.
Right.
Okay. My hot take is this has the never have I yearned. This might be too much.
Okay.
It probably is.
Never have I
Seth's in a
yearned
mood.
for the romantic chemistry of Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman more
Oh,
than
my
watching these
goodness.
two try to be somehow linked. Oh my gosh. I was just waiting for her to say, I don't like sand because it gets everywhere. It was one of the worst romantic chemistries I've ever seen in a movie. And it made the movie part way not want to watch it because that was the worst part. Every time she was on the screen, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, the thrust.
Just so bad.
And yeah, well, there's some fun facts about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Oh,
yeah.
good.
We can
I'm
get
like,
into later.
could we have not have recast this? I'm sure,
We sure could have.
Rachel Kim would have is great in Homeward Bound 2.
There
I
were.
think she was really good in Homeward Bound 2.
There were other options.
Oh, there was any other option. Natalie Portman's like,
Several,
man,
I
I'm not
think.
feeling so bad now for her little role. By the way, that was not Natalie's fault. That was Hayden's. Okay, Hayden, that's on you, buddy. So that's my
And
hot
also,
take. Yeah, and I think that
Yeah,
that applies to the
writing
boyness. Like
direction.
it literally, you wanted them. If there was some sort of like cool connection there, it would have made the movie so much more interesting. I really think that was like the lack of human connection, and I was like, maybe they're trying to,
Really?
but you just don't like
the dud
her.
of the romance
You just
ruined
don't
it for you.
like her the whole time, and it's like nothing even. Yeah, it was just.
well, it's the engine. His pining after this woman is the whole driver of everything that kind of happens / bureaucratic mistakes. But like,
Yes.
yeah, you feel wanting because you're like,
her.
it's not worth it, man.
I want her to go for the daughter of his mom's friend.
The one with the
That they had more chemistry going
headgear?
on.
With-
yeah, with the headgear.
Yeah.
That had more chemistry
she-
going on than the woman of his dreams, literally.
she was the only sane person in the whole movie.
Yeah, that was a good.
Super geared up to offer some salt
Yeah.
in their first.
She could not
scene.
yet, not
yet.
yet.
You know, I don't like you either. You know.
Pepper?
Yeah.
Okay, how are we gonna explain this movie, guys? Oh my goodness, who wants to? Should we just try to like hack at it? This is a dystopian future movie set in a bureaucratic land, over bureaucratic land. Yet somehow they're dressed like they're straight out of the set of Casablanca.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the 20th century, I believe the opening scroll said. And so it's generically, 80s or 40s to 2000s ish.
Yes.
Yeah. As
Mishmash
Terry,
of technology
as Terry
and
said,
things.
it wasn't really a futuristic movie. It was could be just right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still says that. Could be just right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's for like a satire. Like everything they're sending up still feels pretty valid, which is interesting. I'm curious. Well, okay, so yes, it's set there. We have a middle management bureaucrat played by Jonathan Pryce, who seems fine with his life. That was the other part where I was like, I didn't know that he didn't seem totally unhappy to me. But anyway, he's living kind of a humdrum life. He's got a rich mom.
Yep.
He's fantasizing though about a more dramatic, love-fueled fantasy thing where he's Icarus.
More feathers.
Like
Finding
David
Samurai.
Bowie Icarus.
Yeah. It's a good look.
It's
It
a
does
great.
look good.
It's a
Those
good
wings,
look.
I was mesmerized the whole time.
Yeah, that's great.
I loved it.
And he's dreaming of this girl who he sees in real life because her downstairs neighbor was accidentally kidnapped, interrogated, and killed
Due
by
to
the information
due to a typo.
department. Yeah, spoilers, by the way.
So funny.
And so he kind of blows up his life in pursuit of her and takes on the man and shenanigans. That's more or less
Takes
what's going on, right?
On the man. Yeah,
I
pretty good.
think so.
Pretty good. And of course, yeah, he's very happy to not climb the corporate ladder, is what it is. But he's not
Yes.
happy because then he can lay low and he doesn't have to play the games.
I think he doesn't mind climbing. He just didn't want his mother to by the position.
No,
is kind of the interesting part, because in the beginning he's like, "Oh, I did get it."
No, but he was mad. He literally was telling the boss like,
right.
"Don't find out about it."
I think he would like. I got the idea that he would have liked maybe a little bit of it, but he didn't want to be like. He didn't want the nepotism.
And you're wrong, but
Okay.
I could see how you see that. Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. That you're right.
So obviously we've seen some Terry Gilliam. I don't know how much Terry Gilliam you've both seen, and I kind of realized I'm in a like, I don't know. I've seen a chunk,
other than
but I've
Monty
not
Python?
seen other than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Although definitely,
I mean, I've seen all the other ones. Life of
his
Brian,
best movie ever.
Yeah.
Well, now I've seen his entire
but I don't think
trilogy of
he
imagination.
directed Life of Brian. Did he?
I don't know.
I think he did.
I think he only directed.
He did Life of Brian and
Holy Grail.
About the
Holy
Meaning
Grail.
of Life. Who did the Meaning of Life?
Oh
then?
no, that's what it was. It was Meaning of No.
I thought they did Meaning of Life. Oh, now I gotta look it up.
Research team.
I read it.
Oh no, he
seen
did.
his
He did
whole
Life of
trilogy.
Brian. You're right.
Yeah, Life
I've
of Brian,
seen
Meaning of
his-
Life. Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Yeah, I've seen his trilogy of imagination now, because this was
Apparently-
the second
Grail.
one.
Apparently, ba-bum, ba-bum's gonna be my new thing.
Ba-bum,
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 ba-bum.
Wait, is that right?
Co-directed Life of Brian and the Meaning of Life, according to.
Co-directed.
Yeah.
It is not listed
Oh,
on
he got like
his
second.
IMDb.
He
Oh,
got
snap.
second. Was it second director or second something director
Second
credit
unit or something
Yeah,
like that.
unit. Thank you.
Well, because
Second unit.
he directed all the animation stuff and all those,
Mm-hmm.
because he did them. So maybe that was kind of why he was like
Do you love
not
that
really
about
the director.
him, Pat?
Director. I do like that about him for sure.
Da, 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 da.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I think the only actual Python one he's fully credited as director is Holy Grail. But
Interesting.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 12 Monkeys,
Yes.
The Fisher King.
I don't know if I've seen The Fisher King. That was the one.
It's good.
Yeah, I remember.
Time Bandits, like, so those are like
The
what I
Adventures
was.
of Baron Munchausen.
Those are the ones I had seen. The Brothers Grimm, I guess I
was
saw.
not good. but
Not so good.
Disappointing.
So I kind of like hit and miss. Like I never saw Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I hadn't seen this one.
You must
I haven't
have
seen much of his
that,
more
'cause
recent
I
one.
watched Baron Munchausen a lot.
Maybe I've seen parts of it. And then I saw the documentary about him trying to make The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never actually watched the movie
Yeah.
when he recast it with everybody. So anyway, I have a eclectic mix of
Yeah.
his films, which are pretty eclectic.
Yeah.
All a little weird, but
Yeah.
some more serious, some more silly.
Yeah. I
So
was
I
interested
came in
to
with
see
some-
Zero Theorem, which was another one of his. It's newish, 2013.
Yep. With Christoph Waltz.
Oh.
But yeah, so I kind of came into this not sure which flavor of Terry Gilliam this would be. I think
Right.
it seemed like it would be out there, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what it didn't meet my expectations in ways I thought it would, but it also kind of did. I think that was kind of is where I walk away with a little mixed feelings on this. But I'm curious where you guys came at this. Like, what were you expecting out of this movie?
So let me get this straight. This is the first time you both watched this movie,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we got
Correct.
This is not the first time I've seen this, so my surprises came in other ways. So yeah, talk about your first go around, Mariah.
Well, I was certainly mesmerized by all of the fantasy dream pieces. Like the whole wings, the fighting the samurai, like it was cool. I was like, this is great. I love this. And the rest, the whole, company line thing, the bureaucracy, all of that was the part that was slow for me. I felt like it didn't have to be 2 hours and 23 minutes, probably. But I appreciated all of the star-studded cast that I kept seeing pop in there.
It was wild.
I liked. Oh, there were some really interesting things, and I think the fact that I'd seen Time Bandits and I'd seen Baron Munchausen, and this was like supposed to be part of his quote-unquote trilogy of those types. It made me kind of feel like, okay, it's going to be weird. It's going to be very fantastical. So I knew that was coming. And then I also was looking for some Monty Python-esque types of things. It definitely, I felt like he was paying homage to a lot of other directors by making this. Or I just saw so many other, like Stanley Kubrick and Kurosawa and all these other pieces that I felt like, well, this isn't what I would have expected from him. Yeah, it was a little long. There were some boring parts, but boy, I liked it. I guess.
Yeah.
I was like, it seems to be up your like wheelhouse.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
weird,
it was
it's
weird
creepy,
enough,
it's
dark
funny.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's where it feels like this movie in some ways was built in a lab for me to enjoy, but it didn't quite click. Because like there are so many scenes where it's like, oh, this is like a great Monty Python sketch premise.
Right.
Like the sharing a desk through
So
the
good.
wall.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
So good.
One of my favorite parts of the movie.
The painting the ductwork like as an advertising kind of
That's so
a
funny.
marketing thing. That was so crazy.
And just even like the weird, which I don't know that I even processed like what was going on with it. The fact that they were like seeing old movies, or someone was watching old movies, and Ian Holm kept hearing them, and then going, "Oh, what's going on?" And someone would turn it off or whatever, and it's like, what's happening there? Ian Holm was great. The Michael Palin interrogation stuff.
So, great.
It was so
Super good.
like Steve Martin Little Shop of Horrors kind of vibe that I got
Yeah.
from that. I was like,
hey.
it's in this weird silo, this torture chamber.
The
Yeah.
sets. Holy
Oh, the
cow,
sets are
the
amazing.
sets in this movie.
Yeah.
It felt
Metropolis
so big.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
Just when they're driving on that road and there's all that signage like blocking out the the barren landscape, and I
Yeah.
thought like someone built
Yeah.
massive amounts of these things.
Yeah.
It was
Amazing.
crazy.
All
I
the
kept being
different-
shocked
All
at
the
how much they
different
built.
vehicles they used,
Mm,
like her
great vehicles.
truck thing and his little
Yeah.
bubble car, and there is so much weird, functional weird.
And the dryness of all of like the horror, like here's a receipt for your husband,
Yeah, that's the.
like all that stuff is so good, but I just kind of, it wasn't all connecting in a way where it carried me through. But I like even the second time you see Bob Hoskins and the other guy who also really liked, I don't know who he is, but a funny little two-man thing. Their hat brims were really big the second time you see them.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's like,
A lot
I
of
like
wide
all
angle
these
shots
little
on those.
ideas.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I kind of go, but this isn't a movie. It's like, this should have
It's
been
a sketch show.
It's like Terry Gilliam's
it was like
musings
Life of-
for 2.5 hours.
or it's like The Secret of Life level of connectivity, but they tried to make it more narrative. Like it could have been a send up
Yeah.
of corporate bureaucracy,
Yeah.
in dystopian life, and these are all just different scenes, and that would all be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have some, I guess recurring repairmen showing up in everyone's apartments or something, like fixing their heat. There's some version of that where I'd be like, I'd be so into that.
It's so,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this
It's
movie,
exactly right.
I think to what you're talking about, Seth, like Jonathan Pryce chasing Kim Greist, is just like, I just don't care about
It
her
doesn't- you don't
like
care about
at
her.
all.
Jonathan Pryce did all of the emotional heavy lifting, and no one else did. You needed one more person to connect to, and the female lead was not it. And it was such, it took you out of the movie. And it's almost like the movie Tombstone, when the movie's so good, but why is the female lead so bad? almost ruins
come
the
on.
movie.
I liked her. Just
Dana
fine.
Delaney?
I like Dana
Come on.
Delaney.
Did you watch the movie? Are we talking about the
Yes.
same movie here? Like, you know,
I think
She's
that part
great.
is just the worst part of
it's the
movie.
worst part of the
She's
movie.
fine.
She's
She
not
was great.
fine,
I
but that's
liked
okay.
the whole her and Billy Zane, the whole acting.
Yeah, Billy Zane killed it, and it was great. Every person around it killed it. She was very
He
hard
was
to
beautiful,
realize.
and
Like, you're gonna die for
You
her.
killed him.
You killed him. Are you sure you're an actress? Are you sure?
Have you
Like, the
not seen
hardest-
China Beach?
The
Seth?
hardest part
Come
of
on.
that movie was to believe that she was supposed to be an actress.
She's-
I'm like, you're barely pulling it off
She
in
was
this
quite-
movie.
You know,
I
it's
don't know.
old timey.
But who's the devil?
I know you are a bad old timey actress.
Anyway, different movie, different
But
day.
the point is that like they take you out of the movie. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's so bad that it takes you out of the movie. Every time she shows up, I'm like Blade Runner because
I feel like Mad Max drove through like
Thunderdome.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll take Tina Turner any day over this. But that's the thing. Like Blade Runner, the female leads were dope, and that's the thing I kind of equate it to of the era because it's the same era. It's that same '80s kind of punk rock female that they're going for here, right? But it's like they were all too British and didn't realize that the American actor they got just wasn't working, and they just couldn't. Like if you had a British lead, I think it would have been way better. There would have been a connection there that would have been different.
Well, we
But it
can
was-
get into that.
We probably should because I was just so I didn't research why they cast who, but Jonathan Pryce, you're with him.
funny.
You're connected with him the whole time, and you're not gonna like.
He's great.
He's great. He's
going for it.
single-handedly.
Ian Holmes so
followed him.
good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Great, but Ian Holmes not sympathetic. He's this hilarious.
No, well, but I mean, even he kind of is.
Oh yeah, I
'cause
guess
he's
so.
So,
More so than Palin.
but
Yeah.
he's not. He's
Michael
not the
Palin.
co-lead.
Yes.
But
No.
but there's so many people. My second hot take was like, this is not equal to the sum of its parts.
yeah.
Because I think there's so many things I could point at in this movie that I'm like, that was phenomenal. That was such a funny idea. That performance was so good.
The whole
And then
De
I'm left
Niro,
at the
like,
end.
taking the zip line, like it's such a steep angle out of every shot. Like, where does he land? He just goes. It looks like he's
Straight
gonna
down.
hit the side of a skyscraper.
Yeah, he's just like, see you later, and then wee. Yeah, it was
That
like
was so good.
bizarrely fast, but so funny.
And the whole
Yeah, all that
rescue part
stuff.
where he has like 8 of them or something. They call
Yeah.
just descend into the
Oh,
silo.
that's so funny. It's funny you brought up the meaning of life, and I was watching this movie, and
Meaning of life, I think, is secret of life, like a fool.
oh yeah, and I kept thinking like, oh, when's the part where he eats and then blows up? Like I literally started switching the movies in my head because there's those scenes that are just absurdity of like some crazy thing happens of like some
The dinner
horrible
scene.
thing. The dinner scene when
They're
something
getting
blew
bombed,
up. I was
and
like,
everyone's
oh.
like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
I literally
you know.
thought, oh, they're gonna blow up this, and then this
Or
guy's
the-
gonna eat too much, and
the
then we're gonna have the
food.
Hunger Games.
And
The
they just-
weird
he
food,
just
and then
guys-
they serve them the food and put the dog on the platter and like cover the dog up, and then
Yeah.
like it's just
They
so
didn't,
sudden.
they didn't eat the dog. He does come back.
Yeah,
But yeah, just that he put up the little blind, thing just to hide that there was a bomb behind. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like,
there's
Oh,
people
nothing-
bleeding.
like all that.
everywhere.
That's
And they
like
don't even
that's
mention it.
Such a sketch.
Yep.
Yeah, such a Monty Python sketch, and everyone's just
Yeah.
like, oh, boy, these terrorists. Or like we hear Robert De Niro, Tuttle, being like, I just couldn't handle all the paperwork, and then he's like eaten by paperwork. I
oh
guess.
yeah, it just sticks to him when he's going.
Yeah,
through.
and he just is gone, and it's like that as a setup for some joke sketch. I think it'd be really funny in the moment in that movie. I was like, is this sad? Is this funny? Like I kind of couldn't.
Yes. The answer is
I couldn't
yes.
connect to it in the way I think I wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's such a funny idea. I don't know, the
There's
weird
some
like
solid stuff in there.
the rejuvenation these old ladies are going through.
Oh,
The
yeah.
His
cut
mom's
versus the
super hot,
acid or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, his mom goes through like the pin and tuck and like cutting off the excess, whereas her friend goes for the acid treatment, and she just gets worse and
Slowly
worse.
dying. Yeah,
It's just
it was a
yellow
what she kept
tinged
saying, yeah.
bandages everywhere.
Oh, because
It's like some issues with my last
And
issue.
he like falls into the casket and like the goo comes out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So messed up.
But also that's like funny on its own.
Yeah.
I could point to any of that. Oh, how about Jim? This is Jim O'Hare. What's his name? Why can't I remember his name? Jim Broadbent was the plastic surgeon.
Oh, funny.
Also very good.
Oh.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was great. Yeah.
It's over the top crazy.
He is crazy. So great.
Mr. Cut or whatever he called
Yeah.
himself. The Dr.
Snip,
Dr.
snip.
Jaffe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oy.
It's good. There's so many
good.
good things.
Yeah, he's like marking up her face and then wraps it with saran wrap. He's like, and you're gonna get
Well,
this.
just pulling her like face all stretched.
Yeah.
It's all this kind of horrifying stuff going on.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It
just
there's
seems-
so much good stuff.
I just think I hate to put like on one person that may ruin the movie, but there isn't that. You know, like if Harrison Ford was Jonathan Pryce's character, would it be immediately more appealing? If you change out certain parts, you know, because then you have this. But
I
then
think he had to look like not a heartthrob, not a leading man.
exactly right, and it would have to be something like that. I think about Joe versus the volcano, very similar, right? But you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a very compelling
With lots of chemistry.
Tom Hanks
Meg
and
Ryan.
a very young Meg
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
So, and
That's
that's
true.
gosh, I didn't think about Joe versus the volcano. When did that come out? How similar are these two movies?
I'd say earlier 80s.
Ooh, let's see what came out first. Research team.
1990.
Oh, off by a decade.
Man. Well, I didn't
yeah,
watch it till the late 90s.
I didn't
that's
watch
for
it till the
Yeah.
2010s. Shoot, Joe versus the volcano. I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't know it existed for a
Yeah.
long time.
I was kind of when this movie started and Brazil came on, the music hits that first. I was like, "Whoa,
Yes.
that's what this is what this movie is." And then we see Jonathan Pryce, gloriously beautiful Jonathan Pryce, flying elegantly through the sky.
With like a lightning
like,
bolt on his face.
Yeah, as David Bowie. He looked great. Like with that wig, I was like, "You look great, Jonathan Pryce."
Yeah.
JP to the rescue.
Yeah. Muscle suit looks great on
Yeah.
him.
It's good. It was a good look. And the wing, I was actually really impressed with how the flying looked.
Yeah.
Like the sky was clearly kind of like, not realistic.
How did
but
they
like,
do that, guys?
he was graceful.
They
and the wings worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It was
There's like one
smooth.
shot when it folds in that it was like kind of weird, but like otherwise I was like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
Then
They talk about that. It was like a pretty cool puppetry mix with it was pretty hard to do back then. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
People were very
I
impressive
was
like that.
definitely taken by that, going, wow, this is for a low budget kind of.
Was this a low budget
and then
movie?
all the
Really?
I don't know how low budget it was, but
No way.
I don't know that it was
the
really high budget.
studio was trying to do a lot of controlling, so maybe it wasn't as low budget.
I gotta look that up. I want to know how low budget this thing was.
But
It looks-
Robert De Niro didn't get paid.
well, he
He
probably
wanted to be in it.
got paid scale.
Possibly.
15 million
he-
budget in 1984. Let's see what that would be now.
15 million, you said?
Yeah, it only
So
ma-
not low.
And side note, it did not make that in the box office. This
Brian VHS
not being a
sales
box
that
office
did it.
success is the least surprising thing I read at all. I'm like, who's the audience? How quirky do you gotta be? Like, don't.
Yeah.
It's like one of those movies that's like, yeah, it's influential, but no wonder the studio execs were mad at you.
I would have liked it, but I was 5. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry.
But you still would have been like, they could have recast a couple spots. For all the
Yeah,
star
I don't know
power,
about this
could you not have
chemistry.
one good?
Can I blow that right now? The
Do it. Yeah,
fun
tell me.
fact?
I'm so interested about it. Why do they cast
Who else
her?
could have been Jill?
Which actresses went for the part of Jill Layton? Rosanna Arquette,
Whoa.
Ellen Barkin.
Who's that? Ellen Barkin.
She
You would
plays.
recognize her.
Yeah, you would.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Oh, she would have been perfect.
Rebecca De Mornay.
From Rebecca De Mornay. Oh,
From being Rebecca
another
De Mornay.
American.
The
No,
hand that rocks the cradle.
oh yeah. No, I still want Jamie Lee Curtis.
Risky
Okay.
business.
So, Risky Business. Nice.
Kelly McGillis.
Oh my gosh, why all the Americans?
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Why all the Americans?
I don't know who two of these people are, but so I'm skipping them. Michelle Pfeiffer.
What?
Kathleen Turner.
I actually think she would have. I don't know that Michelle Pfeiffer would have been good in this.
No, but she's
No.
so pretty. Who cares? It's like,
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
before or after Scarface?
When was Grease 2?
Yeah.
This is after Scarface. Michelle Pfeiffer is already Michelle Pfeiffer.
Sure.
She's not Catwoman Michelle Pfeiffer, but she's already Scarface
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Like she was great in Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathleen Turner.
No. Stop it.
Yeah. And even Madonna.
Madonna would have been fine in this.
And then there's two people I don't know. Ray Don Chong and Joanna Pacula. Don't know
Huh.
them.
Joanna Pacula, huh?
Radon Chong was in Commando.
Oh, okay. So
She's a
similar vibe. Maybe.
Pretty 80s gal.
Yeah.
And Joanna Pacula is Polish. And
Oh, she's what was she in? Something I liked.
Oh yeah. Well, she was also in Tombstone. She's
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's
She's
right.
Doc Holliday's
She's
lady.
great.
Doc Holliday's
I
girlfriend.
liked
she
her.
killed it in Tombstone. Man, unlike
you're
the
fine,
lead.
Doc.
Anyway, that
gosh.
was the list.
we
By
knew
the way,
Tombstone would keep coming.
Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Tombstone was your movie.
Ah.
I'm
You just
so
killed
sad.
it. Oh my gosh, that was
66.
It's a
yeah.
bummer.
I mean, honestly, he fought that long is impressive. Because do you guys see the movie Val? By the way, listeners,
Yes, I watched it
really good
3
movie.
times,
listeners,
like back
if
to
you
back
have
to
not
back.
seen it,
It was so good.
It is one of the best, like behind the scenes, real, because it doesn't do Val any favors, which is why it's so good. Because you're like, oh yeah, you
pretty
kind of
raw
were
about who
pretty
he
raw
was.
about who he
Yeah.
was. You
And his
could-
ex-wife's in it. And
Yep.
all that footage
Because
he did
Val
over the years.
Kilmer would bring a little like either VHS or Super 8 or whatever the technology was at the time, and he would film behind the film set of like other actors and stuff with him, and like he'd get like some arguments and he'd get some
Well,
like
all the way
crazy-
back to Real Genius, right?
Yes, with all the other kids
So far
that are
back.
also
Yeah,
famous
super
now.
early.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, Val is one of the best documentaries that kind of gets you by surprise. Oh, and his son's voice sounds just like him. It's so strange
So
and
good.
surreal. Anyways,
Yeah.
meanwhile, back to
digress.
that. Oh my gosh, I wish Jamie Lee Curtis took that part. That would have been so good.
She
Seth
would have been great.
done the
I would
recast.
have taken Michelle Pfeiffer, Jamie Lee Curtis. Darn it, Jamie Lee Curtis would have been perfect. She's got that like
Well, here's
yeah.
there's a toughness, but a comedic.
Exactly
You know,
right.
like what she did in like
Approachable.
True Lies, right?
Yes,
like that
exactly
that
right.
blend of
Exactly
humor and toughness. Like she's great.
Yeah.
So Terry Gilliam apparently cast Kim Greased because she'd only done Chud up to this point, so she was like unknown,
Right.
and so she could build the character. You know, like people wouldn't go, "Oh, you're just Michelle Pfeiffer from Scarface." It's like, no, we don't know who you are because you were only in Chud. And apparently, he was so disappointed with her. She did a really good audition, I guess, but was bad, and so they just kept cutting her part.
Yeah. Shaved
And
it
so
way
that's kind of
down.
also
There
much
was more
sadness.
romantic stuff. Like there was a more romantic version of the movie.
It's just and she ruined the movie. Like I really, I hate to say it, like you guys
just can't get that
You're
back.
like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, she's what's wrong with it. Like it's
Yeah.
the only thing that's wrong with this movie.
Well, I think her career shows that she didn't. I mean,
she was meant for Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Okay, we just know her role, but
well, you're
oh
not
my
focusing
gosh.
on her in Homeward Bound. You're wondering where these animals are.
Like I said, she's meant for Homeward Bound. Anyways,
You're
the
looking
point-
for Shadow. You're not looking at her.
Oh, that's it. I'm telling you, I think this movie could have been so much more relatable, and it could have brought the story together if you had. I mean, Carrie Fisher and Mel Gibson. No, that is Star Wars. Like
Harrison.
Mark Hamill.
without
Harrison
Her
Ford.
brother.
without Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, like Star Wars is still great, but it's not Star Wars. Despite George Lucas's inability to feel human feelings, he thankfully picked two people that worked out, had good chemistry, and still were feisty. This one was the opposite of that. This could have had some great feelings, and you had because it's the classic build of this unattainable goddess and this punk rock whatever, and then they never resolved it, and it's just why do we care about that? And it ruins the whole plot because then you don't even care about what Jonathan Pryce is doing anymore, because if that's this ultimate goal, altruistic goal, there really is no. I mean, I get it. The end is very.
Well,
sorry,
certainly you're not like
spoiler alert.
pushing for him to keep trying to save her, or
No,
like
gosh,
you're like,
move on.
actually,
I
she'd just
literally
be fine
said-
if she was gone.
I was waiting for the story to be like, no, I do love my mom's friend's daughter after all. Like I was waiting for that plot twist because I cared more about her. That's that's how bad it was.
Well, I think they also didn't really set up, like, they set up that she was sort of fighting. I mean, I think she was doing this, but she was trying to fight the bureaucracy on behalf of her downstairs neighbor. But it
But she
kind
was
of got
just
just
filing
messy
paperwork,
with like,
and things just got out of control. She just had a look about her. I think that he thought she was such a rebel, but she wasn't really.
but they
well,
didn't
and then there's
develop that
like,
either.
oh, is she a terrorist? But it's like, are there, because there are clearly people dropping
Yeah.
bombs throughout the movie.
Well,
It
yeah,
happens
she's
many
got a
times.
bomb. It wasn't a bomb. She was doing her job.
But it's just sort of like,
so
yeah,
weird.
and maybe that was the point. Like her job is just mundane. She is just like a truck driver, and she's just trying to fill out paperwork, and they view her that as terrorism. Like there's something to that. Or he made her a terrorist by thinking,
Hoping.
I don't know.
Hoping she was a terrorist.
There's sort of, there's something there, but it kind of, you just kind of go, I don't.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't know.
I don't care, and that's a huge.
Yeah, I mean that is
problem.
kind of the problem with this Christmas movie is that there is no Hallmark feeling.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Ending,
Yeah.
No, but it's not even like you're not even that. You'd be sadder if it wasn't a happy. Like it's not even. You're not as sad as you could have been. That's the thing too. Like it could have been sadder. It could have had more. It could
There
have
were
had.
some dark parts, like that little girl waiting, and she's like, I'm just waiting for my dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
there was a lot of sad parts. But those are great because you know why? She wasn't involved.
She had very little to do.
It sucks that my hot take is like the reason why this movie is not as good as it should be because it's still a very influential movie, and it's set up the way. Oh gosh, the set design was insane.
There's so many fun things about
the humor was great. The dark and goofy mix was perfect. Mm-hmm. But darn it,
had a couple of really funny lines in it that
Oh,
I just
man.
Oh,
loved.
yeah.
shoot! What if we just switched Kim and Natalie Portman?
The whole like, how are your twins?
Yeah.
Oh, they're triplets.
Oh,
Oh, how
triplets.
time flies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And even Michael Palin getting the one confused he's looking after. He's, how, whatever, Molly. And he's like, I'm Katie. And he's like, oh, whatever. But like he's interrogating people to death, and then his daughter's just playing in the room next door kind of thing.
so great.
Which in real life is Terry Gilliam's daughter.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
really?
funny. That's
Fun
right.
fact.
That's a fun fact.
Other stuff that just stood out to me that I thought was fun, like the ducks just being everywhere for not like clear reasons, but they
Yeah.
highlight like you mentioned, like, are your ducks a little too drab or whatever it was. And I was like, okay, there's just ducks everywhere.
Yeah.
The mom, I
We'll
think
color
at dinner was wearing a high heel.
Yes,
on her head.
upside
That
down
was like her
shoe
hat.
on her head. It was so weird.
I thought that's amazing.
Yeah.
When he's talking to the boss at like his mom's dinner party, and he's like, I need your help with something, and it hard cuts to him holding him over the toilet. I thought was so
That's
funny.
a good big cut.
Like he's all serious. I need your help with something, and he's just holding this man peeing into the urinal.
That is
There's
really
so
weird
many
one.
things like that are so good. Robert De Niro
Or when he
ziplining
shows
away
up
every
in
time.
the Santa hat in the torture room.
Yeah.
Like I'm really pulling
Yeah,
for
the
you or something.
Creepy baby faces.
Oh,
the
those
shared
are
desk is
so
those are
good.
pretty
Shared-
creepy, yeah.
the shared desk is so good.
Yeah, the
I
shared
can't
desk.
believe how much
That's
I
great.
like that.
Just trying
And
to
then
get those
the-
binders to fit.
Yeah. Then the tech, their weird steampunky future retro
Yep.
tech
Mm-hmm.
was pulled off so well. Like the crazy
Videos.
kind of like magnifying screens,
Yeah.
and there's all these cool shots like looking through it. And I thought that's really cool.
Mhm.
Like how they set all that up was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's only one real
it's
big
just-
problem with the movie. It's weird.
There's just
It's
one
there's
big
problem.
one glaring
Actually, speaking of problems,
problem with the
can
movie.
we get in some more fun facts? Because
Sure.
I was just highlighting things I liked about the movie. I don't know if you guys have more lists of things you just
Are we
stood out
talking
to
about
you that you
Robert
liked.
De Niro?
Bob,
Yes!
Bob.
Bob.
This is so funny to me because Robert De Niro, apparently is a huge Monty Python fan,
Yeah.
was like, I want to work with Terry Gilliam. So he took whatever part, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the lead, but he said,
Yeah,
sorry.
he wanted Michael Palin's part.
Yeah,
apparently.
he wanted the
Oh,
he
that-
wanted the torturer.
Oh, he would have been great at that too, but Michael Palin was amazing too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Michael Palin's so good. So he got this part, and apparently he's just so actory to the point where he annoyed like everybody. Like everyone was so excited for him to
No
come, and by the
way.
end they like wanted to strangle him.
Yeah, because
'Cause
they
he
would all
do
do
like
one or
25.
yeah, they do one or two takes, and
No.
he do 25 to 30 takes,
No.
and still forget his lines.
What?
Yes.
And there, I saw the interview with Terry Gilliam about this like 10 or 15 years later, and he was so nice about it. And he was just like, he was nervous. You could tell he was just so nervous. So he was just practice all the lines. They made him like, he'd ask for like sets, like already like just set up so he could practice certain things and
Yeah.
do it so method. And they're like, oh
Yes.
my gosh.
So
Well,
method,
he
but he
went
can't remember his
and
lines.
watched brain surgery because he thought that would be like what his job was like a brain surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
All his tool belt and stuff he brought in, that was like his stuff. He like designed the character.
Oh, I'd be annoyed
Um,
too.
Yeah.
This is comedy, bro.
Yeah, like
You know, he uses Monty
It was-
Python, the Holy Grail, right?
But the
Yeah.
end, in the end though, it looks like he just did such a great job. Like he's in there fixing his
Yeah.
wall and he's like, oh, can you fix that? Nope, but I can bypass it. And he like pulls that
Yeah.
other part out. What
Yeah,
was
he's
his,
great
It's
in
him
it,
just as goofy as all
but
the
like
rest of it.
it's funny and
that he was such a pill.
yeah, and apparently he was like, I had a great experience on
Mm-hmm.
the set. Like I would happily work at Terry Gilliam again. But
That's
everyone else was
so
like, oh my
funny.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the question then. Was it just two Americans on the set? What's going on here?
Well, Terry
Bob,
Gilliam.
Is Bob
Terry
Hoskins?
Gilliam. No, he's
He's
No,
British,
he's
right?
British.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No, so three.
hot take. Get rid of the Americans. This movie is still fine. Sorry, Bob, but this movie
but Terry
had
Gilliam
too
is
much-
American.
is he really?
Yeah.
He renounced his
Yeah.
American citizenship in 2006, but
Rightly
he was
so.
American at this time. You're right. He
Yeah,
was American.
He was
at this time.
born in America. Anyway.
That's so weird. It's weird that Terry Gilliam is American.
And yeah, the fact that he's
I know.
a founding member of Monty Python and
It
yet
doesn't make
the
sense.
American.
Well, I forget. It was like he ran into John Cleese at some comedy thing or something, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, you should come work with us." And then
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a weird.
He went to freaking
Weird
Occidental
stuff.
College in Birmingham High School in America. Are
Mm-hmm.
you kidding me? I feel like I'm living a lie. How can this be possible?
Before we get on to more fun facts, my favorite Robert De Niro line in the movie is "You're a good man in a tight corner." What does he says to Sam? Those are like the two lines. The triplets, how time flies. Like, those are the funniest things I'd heard in the whole movie. They're so good.
Oh, good.
Oh well, when they like kidnapped Buttle or whatever, the wrong person.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're inviting you to assist in information collecting or whatever. It was like some you're formally invited to be kidnapped. And then here's a receipt for your husband, and I'm going to need to sign this, and this is my receipt of your receipt.
Super
Yeah.
cheery
I did
British.
enjoy how dumb.
Or Sam's trying to
then
find Jill after all those people have been kidnapped, and he wakes up on the floor and he's just like opening up all their like straight jackets to see their eyes. Like, is that you, Jill?
And then the floor like repairmen who come after they blow holes in all these floors all the time. And they're like, wait, they switched to metric without telling us or whatever it was.
Yeah. We don't make mistakes.
Barely miss.
Yeah.
That was just so funny and dumb. But
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Oh, that's so crazy.
I only kind of had one more big fun fact, which
Oh.
is sort of about the drama of which version of this movie got released.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead. That was a go ahead. Not yes. That was a go ahead.
Okay. Well,
That's
so
a hard
Yes.
pass. That's a hard pass, Patrick.
Yes.
So obviously, this movie doesn't end on a high note. Spoilers. If you just stop the movie at a certain point, it would. But if you keep watching to the end, it's a sad ending for our lead. And apparently, Terry Gilliam, so the studio didn't like that, right? That's not a crowd pleaser. Terry Gilliam was asked to do like a film class as he was doing this movie at USC.
Oh.
And so he just started going, okay, great. I'm going to bring in the movie and show it to these students. And the studio's like, no, you can't just show the movie. And he did it anyway. And that's how some critics saw it and were like, this is the best movie of the year. And there was enough pressure and accolades from critics that the studio relented to letting him release this version.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Because he just showed it as part of this film class as a visual aid.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept showing it and showing it. It wasn't like he did it once. He did it for weeks.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Even though the studio was like, stop.
You can
stop
show
doing
clips, and that was what they finally agreed upon.
this.
Yeah, that was funny.
But yeah, there is a Love Wins edition. Do you know what it's called?
Love Conquers All version.
Yeah, the
Love Conquers All edition.
Yeah.
Which is like the studio cut.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where I
Did
think
they replace the main
he
actress?
doesn't.
No, they
No,
probably give
they
him more
didn't.
time.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they might put in more stuff, and I think, and they get
I don't
away.
like sand
in the
because
end, I think
it gets
is-
everywhere.
That's so wild to me that it'd be that different.
Yeah.
But I also get it. So anyway, that was my last kind of fun fact. So
Okay.
a little drama.
I was looking up.
I have a sad one
Oh, go for it.
because I bring the sadness. This was River Phoenix's favorite movie. And he
Oh.
loved Terry Gilliam, and he was working on that movie that he was working on when he died with Jonathan Pryce. And the one that got finished in 2012, I think.
What?
I know, I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I
I can't remember the name.
wow. There's so many
But he
things.
started a
Okay.
film, and then
Okay.
anywho.
Oh, Dark Blood.
Yeah, Dark Blood.
Wow.
Where he plays the bad
Yeah.
guy. River Phoenix is the bad guy in it. Anyway, it was his favorite movie, and he wanted to meet Terry Gilliam, and because he was working with Jonathan Pryce on that movie, they'd set up a meeting, and he was supposed to meet him the day he died outside the Viper Room. So he didn't get to meet him that day.
That is sad.
Isn't that so sad?
Huh.
So not a fun fact.
Young Indy. Yeah, that's not so fun. Okay, guys. I looked up fun facts about Brazil 1985. You guys ready?
We already did them.
Okay.
Here we go. It was the end of the military dictatorship from 1964 to 1985. 85 marked the official end of Brazil's 21-year dictatorship. It was also the beginning of
Because of the movie?
modern.
Do you think?
It was also Brazil held their first ever rock festival in January 1985, including Queen, AC/DC, Iron Maiden, and Rod Stewart.
Hey, good for them.
not
Good. That's a good
Gems.
show.
Yeah,
Gems.
economic turmoil and hyperinflation, so they were having a lot of high inflation, foreign debt. Their soccer team was a little bit in transition that year. No football titles in '85, which for Brazil is very unusual. As after they had the 1982 World Cup heartbreak, which Pat you alluded to earlier, they had to do kind of a rebuilding stage.
Did I?
And then,
I don't
But
think-
Pele would have been on the
obviously,
team then, right?
None of us talked
the
about
lifting
soccer.
of censorship allowed the resurgence of Brazilian cinema, music, and literature also in 1985. Thanks, guys.
Oh.
You guys
I said,
act like
was
I don't.
Pele still playing in 1985?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know if he was playing in Brazil. He might have been playing in the American leagues at that time.
Oh.
Because you may not know
right.
this, but Pele, the U.S. actually had their own American soccer league at that time. And Pele, I believe, was on the New York team. I can't believe you asked that, and I can't believe I might be right on this answer. I please.
The New York Cosmos.
ASL.
Yes. Was I right?
Yeah, that was in like 1977. He closed out his career, so he
Okay,
was not
so he was way done by
playing
then. Okay.
anymore.
I actually had a New York
Wah, wah.
Cosmos shirt. They re-released him in like the early 2000s.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
It's pretty sweet.
All right.
Anyways,
Great.
So that was. So don't think I didn't do my research for Brazil in 1985, guys.
Yeah. I had one more too that I thought of that was better than soccer.
I felt like I did pretty good.
Okay.
Bob Hoskins did his cameo in this movie and he was loaned out from the Cotton Club, which he was filming at the same time.
Oh.
The amazing
That is
Cotton Club.
He was so good.
Okay, Bob Hoskins' best movie. I'm gonna count to 3 and you say it. 1, 2, 3.
Hook.
Hook.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, good one.
Also good.
First of all, you didn't go on 3 though, so Ryan, I win, obviously. I'm a little surprised you didn't go with Mario Brothers. Not
The
gonna lie.
correct answer is Hook
Hook.
because it's not
He's great in
problematic.
it.
Is Roger Rabbit that? I don't remember. Wauga, Jessica Rabbit,
Fine.
I
Baby
think it's
Smoking
fine.
Cigar.
I think it could be.
I mean, it's
Don't
the
worry
only
about it.
movie where you have
I'm
Warner
not bad.
Brothers.
I'm just drawn that way.
So good. It's so good. You have Warner Brothers and Disney in the same
Patty
movie.
cake.
How often
So good.
Donald Duck
No, it's a
fighting
great
Daffy Duck?
It's an
insane.
amazing collab. But
It's insane.
didn't they
Yeah,
do
it
that
was
in
really
Space
well done.
Jam?
No, they did not do. Did
Really?
they?
No, it's just
Warner
Looney
Brothers.
Tunes and
Yeah.
Space Jam.
They okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we
and-
cover it all?
Did we cover it all? Is that it? Is that it?
Why did they call it Brazil, guys?
Because that's like the fiction. What he wanted to go is the escape.
It's just because that's
It's the
the
song he
name
heard.
of the song.
It's a song
Uh,
that he
And,
pictured
yeah,
somebody on a
otherwise-
beach with ash and soot on it.
oh man.
Yeah, but it was the working title. One of them was 1984 and a half,
Yep.
Yeah, Seth
which is
ruined
a
that
reference
hot
to
take.
1984, which apparently Terry Gilliam never read, but he got the gist.
What? He never
And,
read it and he wrote this? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
similarities
But he
are
did watch Eight and
nutty.
a Half, and he was referencing that. Oh, actually, one more fun fact. This is more in your
Oh.
up your alley, Seth.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
I was
give
about
that-
that reminded me of that one.
Oh, I can't wait. What do
The
we got?
wide angle, a lot of wide
A
angle,
lot of
in
wide
this.
angle. Yes.
And I think there's a specific kind of wide angle where it's not so distorted, like it's not fully fisheye.
So like 24
And-
millimeter. Okay.
The shots became known as Gilliam's
Oh.
in the biz because of this movie. He used it so much in this movie that when other people use it, people apparently refer to it as a Gilliam.
Oh, that wasn't what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
I was gonna say the samurai sequence was an homage to Kurosawa because Gilliam loved him so much.
Yes, that's so great.
I
Bring
thought
it
that
back
was
to
where
Kurosawa.
I figured he'd be delighted.
Oh my gosh.
It was a pretty fun scene, the whole
I'm so
samurai
interested.
fight scene. Where like everything that touches him went up into flames.
So cool. That scene
Yeah,
was dope.
all
by
that
the
stuff
way.
was wild.
Yeah. So good.
What a strange movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the end, I wish it was more something, more funny, more serious, because I think it's living in between. like it's not as serious as 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
It's not as funny as any of the Monty Python stuff.
Did you mute
And
yourself?
as Seth pointed
Pat,
out,
you're
it's
gone.
not.
Come back to us, Pat.
Oh.
Come back. Oh, you're back. Okay,
Hi.
there you go. Well, you're probably still recording on your end, so now it's just we look silly, but the audio's probably
Yeah.
gonna be fine. Ain't that the
Anyway,
way?
like I was saying,
That was
before
very
you
interesting.
guys are just
Pat.
pretending.
Your best
You just
point
pretended to,
I've ever
to not
heard.
hear me anymore.
Yeah,
Interesting
Your
take.
best point I've ever heard.
Oh, we can't. You're cutting out.
It's so funny.
Like, I know how it is. Anyway,
was
I feel
better
like
that
it's in
than fall
between. It's in between, to me, better versions of Gilliam.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Seth, you nailed it. I think the
Honestly, because
The
everything
main
else was
problem-
great.
is our
It's-
romantic storyline.
It's
lack
annoying
thereof.
how
I'm sorry you guys were disappointed in the lack of romance.
I wanted
more
love.
I
not-
want the feeling.
no,
Where's the feeling?
I'm okay with heartbreak, but you have to care to even have your heart broken. I just don't. I just want to care.
I
Not
liked
just-
her. I liked her the most when she was, flowy up in a cage.
Yeah, honestly,
and
she was-
just
that's-
saying Sam.
Her as
Sam.
like a sex symbol in the clouds was
Yeah.
way better than
That
her
was fine.
trying to be
Just
a
an ethereal
punk
lady.
rock
Right.
like Tank Girl. She is not pulling off Tank Girl. That's for sure.
Well, because it doesn't even
Like
need
that
to
reference.
be
That was a good one, huh?
like
good.
a healthy relationship,
No,
right? If we
no.
kind of go the Fight Club route,
Hello,
it can be a train wreck,
or
and you're
a
still
robot
drawn to it.
that you're shooting at,
Oh,
and you're
Helena
still
Bonham Carter. She
Oh,
would
she
have
would've
been
killed it.
great in this.
so good.
Yeah.
And
So, you know,
British.
Yeah,
almost a great, but people loved this movie. Critics love this movie. It's on a bunch of top, must-see movies.
River
And
loved it.
Yeah, River loved it.
so the millimeter
And
lens.
I could
sorry,
see.
I gotta go back
Oh, yeah,
to
go on.
these lenses. So it's a 14 millimeter or an 18 millimeter lens. So it's still, it does have that warped feel because I'm gonna go. When I'm filming, I usually try never to go wider than 24 millimeters because that's when it starts to get, I call it the GoPro effect, where it starts to get that like kind of warpy thing. But he's beyond
a
that,
bubble.
so it does exaggerate it. But I think because he keeps his subject in the center, it doesn't warp him as much. As soon as he gets it to the wide ends, that's where it starts to warp a little bit. So you still have the person looking normal-ish. I don't know how he does it with a freaking 14 millimeter, but 18 millimeter, 20 millimeter, you can use, you get away with it and still use it okay. But I would almost never get a bride anything wider than 24 because it's not flattering. But this movie was not flattering. So obviously that's the Terry Gilliam shot. So that's what it was. Anyways, so there we go. We went down that hole. Those are the two focal lengths you liked in that movie a lot, 14 millimeter and 18 millimeter. Back to you, Pat. After
No,
these
apparently
messages,
that's what they call it, a
be
Gilliam.
right
So
back.
be
Gilliam.
right back.
You just
Yeah,
Pull
no,
the Gilliam.
that's all I got. I don't have any more. It is fun to look at a Gilliam. I typed Gilliam camera wide angle. I call it term, but anyway, it just shows a bunch of stills from like Fear and Loathing and
Yeah.
12 Monkeys
But
and
those
Brazil.
are
And it's
crazy.
Like, yep,
Fear and Loathing's
like that's got a
I
style.
think he used a 12 millimeter for that one because that was like a crazy wide.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
when they're
High
on drugs,
as can be, yeah.
it's like
I would really like to rewatch Baron Munchausen and 12 Monkeys to get another.
I
I
really
I've
like
seen
12
Time
Monkeys,
Bandits too many times.
but it's been a long time.
I'm just torn. It's like the movies that could have been. Like this could have been Blade Runner, in my opinion. This could have been a funny Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as Blade Runner, and that's sad. It's still influential. Is it snob? Oh, here we go. We got to ask, is it snobby? And the snobby scale.
I think so.
Unfortunately, you know why it's snobby? Because the love interest isn't that good, and you don't care about the characters. So yeah, automatically it's more snobby than it should have been. Here's the irony of this whole podcast right now.
Because he referenced Fellini,
yeah.
I think it makes it snobby right there.
But what he didn't do is have female characters, which you do like in Fellini, this 8.5.
I liked Mona just great.
Maybe she's like the lady, like his
She
first
was
like
good.
first sexual experience in Fellini. That kind of weird lady.
the old prostitute
The old
on the
prostitute.
beach.
Yeah. That's more what this is like. Wow, that
If
was
she could afford,
That
if
was
she
rough.
could afford plastic surgery,
that was rough.
She would have
I'm
been
sorry.
in this
That's
movie.
I didn't mean that, guys. So that's the thing about it. Like I just think I wish it was less snobby in the fact that it had better chemistry, because chemistry is what made this movie. Could have made this movie like game changing to cinema,
Cookie
not
cutter.
just to the snobbies. No, it wouldn't be cookie cutter because it's already not cookie cutter. Because Robert De
Yes,
Niro's
it's
playing
so
a
strange.
bit part. It's so strange. Imagine if like.
Other than her, I thought it
Oh,
was
you know
great
who-
and snobby.
You know who does this? Is Tim Burton did this well. Tim Burton actually pulled off weird and relatable. This movie doesn't do this. This is not as good as Tim Burton pulling it off, because Tim Burton literally did it. He did Edward Scissorhands, which is so weird, so off kilter. He made Batman. He changed movies in general with Batman. So no, this could
Visuals
have been,
of this did influence
This could have been Tim
Gotham
Burton.
City Batman, by the way.
Tim Burton's influence.
The visuals of this movie did influence Tim Burton for the Gotham
Obviously.
City and Batman
So
1989.
see-
No, obviously.
Source material for a
Again.
great movie. That
Again.
equals snobby.
It's the same thing. Like all of the movies that we watch that are good, we wouldn't have Oppenheimer without the weird movies that influenced all of those direct. Like, yes, I agree, but man, it could have been so good. It could have been like hit both things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So are we grateful that it wasn't as popular, so that we have movies like the Tim Burton decade that we got, which was awesome? Or are we sad that it didn't have a good female lead that could relate? I don't know.
I mean,
so it's like
both,
it's like
I
that
guess.
hard thing.
I'm not as sad as Seth, but I think it's great.
In general.
I'm glad I watched it.
I think any Terry Gilliam movie is a little niche, right? There's very
That's
little
true.
about what he's done that's like mainstream. So that kind of puts you in a category of film lover, if
Is
you're
it
like, but
if
have you
love
seen Brazil?
It's like if you love Christopher Guest, or if you love
Yes,
Yeah, honestly.
exactly. It's like a badge of like honor, or hey, you're part of my crew.
Wes
if you've
Anderson.
seen Brazil, and liked it, right? Like for us, again, family
Stanley
stuff. Monty
Kubrick.
Python, right? Yeah,
Kubrick doesn't
But like
count.
Monty
He's
Python,
too
right?
diverse. He's too diverse.
it's like you comedy snobs. It's like, well, if you haven't seen Monty Python, what do you even know about comedy, right? Like,
yeah, get out of my face.
you don't even
Don't
know
come
anything.
to my house ever again.
I don't know.
But
I'm gonna call
many
culture
people-
card on that one. I'll say for white people, sure, but for culturally speaking, there's.
But
a
you
lot
know
of
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
know
but
what you mean.
many people haven't seen it, and
Yeah.
it's influenced so many things,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's so good.
Hey, it's my number one movie
I
of all
feel
time.
like-
So obviously, I agree with you. But yeah,
I think any Terry Gilliam in some ways is like kind of snobby, and maybe because this one didn't hit in the same way, like mainstream. Because then
It's
it was like a
snobbier.
cast of people, certainly for American audiences. Like, you're not going to a movie to watch Jonathan Pryce in 1985. No offense, Jonathan Pryce.
you're not going to go see Jonathan Pryce ever. I mean, he's great, but he's never like
He's
the
great.
draw.
No, you're happy he's there,
Yes.
but you're not like, that's not why I
Yes.
came. But
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
Jonathan
Or
Pryce,
Bob
you're
Hoskins,
a stud, and
or
you've never
Ian
done anything
Holm,
wrong. But
or Robert De Niro. Like, I think Robert De Niro and Bob Hoskins were maybe credited highest or something.
which is
but like,
hilarious.
yeah. But the cast, like Ian Holm, I was kind of blown away by him. There's so many good things in this
Yeah.
movie. That's,
Yep.
yeah.
I think to me, yes, it's snobby, but also it's
Yeah, how many nights are
it's
in
a
this
bloop
movie?
single. I can't
Like,
figure out.
there's-
I want to have
all
a
of them
baseball
are
analogy.
sirs now,
Are
aren't
we?
they?
Oh, yeah.
Not Bob,
It
but
felt like we were watching Gosford Park. Like, that's what it felt like. I'm like Terry Gilliam. And it's
It
very
did
similar
kind
to
of-
Gosford Park because you have an American director and a bunch of British people. Like, it's the same sort of situation. And you
But
had
you
one.
like the
Some
women in
upstairs,
it.
downstairs.
But you know who the woman was in Gosford Park? It's freaking Reese Witherspoon's ex-husband. He was
Ryan
the
Phillippe.
he was the wrong casting in that too. The only bad part of Gosford Park was Ryan Felipe. Like, he was terrible.
Oh, poor
I love you, Ryan.
Philippi, I believe.
It is Philippi.
That's how you say it.
Is it really Felipe?
Yeah, it's not.
That's
Doesn't
not
sound
Not Felipe.
Felipe.
I'm sure it's French. I'm sure it's just Philip. Come on, Terrence. It's
Philippe.
Philippe. Philippe.
Anyway, I would say if you do like Terry Gilliam, you should watch this.
Honestly,
I think there's so many elements that are
He said
great.
this movie was a part of 2 trilogies of his.
Huh?
Yeah.
The trilogy
Go
of
on.
imagination and the dystopian satire trilogy. So I feel like I still need to watch Zero Theorem,
Oh, which I haven't seen. Yeah.
which is the end of the dystopian one.
What's the first one?
Yeah.
This.
Well,
and then
this,
12
12
Monkeys. And then,
Oh.
so now I got to
But like
finish
12
it.
Monkeys is
nothing like
so
this, though.
much darker
Yeah.
than this. It's funny in its way, but it's like
Yes.
dark.
But it's like Brad Pitt funny of that era funny. Like, it's like has moments
Snatch
like that.
funny?
Yeah. No, not even that.
Well, yeah, because
he's
he's
Snatch
just
funny.
he's really off the wall crazy in it, right? And then Bruce Willis is great, but it's a sci-fi thriller.
Also has a really rich family that he comes from, and he's kooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good
But
movie.
then
I
but
can't
the creative
believe-
one is
I'm
Time Bandits.
surprised-
This and
I was
very much
surprised
interesting.
12 Monkeys was Terry Gilliam, to be honest. That did not click in my head.
same with like Fisher King,
Yeah, same.
which you should
I
watch
did not
Fisher
know.
King. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard. Yeah, I wasn't snobby enough when it came out, for sure.
A good Robin Williams jam.
Yeah.
Dude, Robin Williams is such a good stinking actor. It's so annoying. Rest in
Really
peace.
is.
I wish you didn't go, but
So
man,
many RIPs
his-
tonight, guys.
there's a lot. Well, we're watching old movies.
They're not old. It's from the 80s.
You're
Oh
right.
my God.
Really
you're so
old
old.
movies.
What is the old saying? We're this far from 1900 as we were.
Yeah, we're closer to the dinosaurs than we were to like Brazil or something. I don't know. Brazil is closer to the dinosaurs than we are to that. I don't know, something like that. Here's a question. So I agree, Pat. This is unquestionably snobby. This is maybe it's one of those movies that like you kind of have to watch to say like, oh no, I saw Brazil. Like you can't not see it and be part of the snobby conversation for sure. It's arguably snobbier than Blade Runner, arguably, because Blade Runner is just a better story. And it's more kooky. It's just this weird mix of serious comedy and everything like that. Does this make your top 10 list, Mariah and Pat? It does not make mine. Spoiler alert. Quick spoiler alert.
Makes my top 10 Terry Gilliam.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
does
close.
make that.
For sure.
And it's close, but it does make that.
Yeah.
It makes my top 10 Terry Gilliam for sure.
Okay.
Just passing.
I have a weird note. If you want to look it up, the poster for Brazil, which has sort of a,
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to be Jonathan Pryce.
With
His
his
head
head
blowing
But it's got
exploding.
kind of a,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it
who is
looks
that guy?
like the Johnny Cab guy from Total Recall.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
funny.
So it's got the samurai up in the sky. It's got Jonathan with his wings up there, and she's holding him. But yeah, this guy down here.
With some Metropolis style landscape,
Very
which we never see
Metropolis.
the tops of buildings in this movie. We're always at like the gutter level.
Which is
Yeah.
very cool. It's Metropolis, but totally different angle. It's great. I love
Yes.
that a lot.
Yeah. I love all the elevators too. Oh, all the elevator scenes
Yeah.
where there's like, you can't go in that one. It had all letters instead of the number.
the wires, the tubes,
Or
yeah,
like
all of
the
that.
like the subway that was like the glass cubey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the old dentist office wall thing, but that was your whole, you know, like subway car, and then the weird portable houses. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know what they were. Like
His
the
mom's
weird
house. Like,
mobile homes. Yeah.
it's just like a harem
so
kind
weird.
of setup.
Yeah.
It's very
It's a weird place.
so weird.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I am glad I watched it because now I can be like, hey, I finally watched this movie that I feel like I should have
I
watched
feel like it
forever
was
ago.
more watchable than most Kubrick movies that I've seen for sure, and shorter. So
Yeah, it wasn't a hard watch.
No.
I think I just wanted
it
it to
wasn't
be.
hard to watch.
there was a
little
moment
better.
in the middle where I was like, "Oh, we're only an hour into this. Like, what's gonna happen for the next hour and a half?"
I do wish
but then I got through it fine.
I do wish I recorded my original thoughts when I watched it like 10, 15 years ago. Because I was like on a movie snob
You were like,
kick
"This
in
is
China,
so cool."
and I was like, what is going on right now? And so but the whole time I was like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to feel. And this time I maybe I'm just too like over things. I'm like, that's terrible acting. That's bad acting. That's amazing acting.
I feel like the topics or the subject matter of this movie is so much more relevant to us now as adults too. I mean, you weren't really aware of. Well, first you were in China,
Well, first of all, I was aware because we definitely had the spine on us all the time.
but the fact that this was here and he actually was making a commentary about stuff, like, now I appreciate it, and now I'm going, and it continues to be relevant.
Yeah, for sure. It always will be. Like the more technology continues, and people can, and bureaucracy over people is the obviously the message. And I've seen that in every place on earth, including grand old US of A guys. We know we do it well.
What?
I know. This is the irony of the life I live in. The words we use never seem to work out right. Like China was a communist country, but somehow it was more free market enterprise when I lived there. This was a while ago, a different regime than America ever has been. Like, because there was like no rules. Everyone's just buying, selling, doing whatever. It was like crazy stuff. And then that was like the communist country. And then we were like the free market enterprise country, and we had way more regulations than China ever had at the time I was living there. So, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, China's watching everything I did, which was true because I was a foreigner and I lived in a very restricted area. But then I come home and turns out that's what America's been doing to us too. So it's just the irony.
I do kind of remember going, "Oh, you have to be careful." Oh,
yeah, like I had to be super
are we
careful.
all supposed to be careful?
Yeah, but then the irony is like, oh, our government's been doing it to us as well as it was
We
then
just didn't
as
know.
WikiLeaks came out, and then we're like,
Yeah.
oh, geez. So it's hilarious, like the illusion of what is a regime and not a regime, and how history will show, like, darn it, that 1984. And in part, other movies that were inspired by the work of 1984.
And you gotta love the paperwork.
The paperwork cracks me up. This is where it's so British. What I love about this movie is it's funnier for British than it is for American. Because
Oh yeah. Also, there was a fun fact about the form number that he listed. It was like 26 something and blah blah blah. It was like
whatever.
where Orson Welles was staying when he wrote something.
Stop it.
Right?
Yes.
It was like the
I
floor
do-
in the
I
room
did,
number.
yes.
It was the form
That's
that
a
they
deep
used.
cut there. That's a deep
Yeah, the
cut.
form that he was like when he stopped Bob Hoskins from like coming in. He's like, "Well, do you have this form?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever that was
And then he got
is
Bob Costa
is
got
a
so
reference.
mad.
Yeah, he
So
was like,
mad.
ask him, and then the other guy started glitching basically when he asked for that form.
Oh, cool. Now look what you did. Oh my gosh. No, this movie is so great, and it could have been so much greater. That's my only
it
thing.
really could have.
It was so good.
Maybe
and
it was just a jumping off point, and
And
we're
it-
gonna see it in the next one.
It was, but it could have been the destination instead of just another stepping stone.
Maybe she'll come back and reprise her role.
I hope she
Kim
doesn't
Grease,
listen. Good
Robert
news
De
is,
Niro, Jonathan Price.
yeah, that'd be hilarious. Oh,
A
my
good number of
goodness.
these people are still alive. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Maybe not
Most of the
everybody.
sirs are not
Yeah.
with us.
Thank you for your service, though, sirs. You guys killed in this movie.
Yeah.
And
All
Game
right,
of
Pat.
Thrones.
Such a nice.
Just for the record, Pat chose this movie. I've already seen this, so I did not choose this movie. But I knew what I was
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
I
do,
did.
and I wasn't sad to like explore
I think
it.
I appreciate it, Pat.
Yeah, no, this is a good. This
Our
is a good
first Terry
snobby movie.
Gilliam on
Yeah.
the pod.
First Terry Gilliam.
Not first time we mentioned Terry Gilliam, darn it, because he's on my
Yeah.
top 10 list. But this movie is not on my top 10 list. Ah!
No.
I love
Didn't
that
make-
Robert
but it
De
was
cool.
Niro's pictures on the DVD cover when he's like, barely in the movie.
Wow.
Oh, also
so
good.
seeing
He was
his
the
face
star.
is barely in the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
So good.
All right, guys, we watched Brazil. This is the How to Be a Movie Snob team. My name is Seth,
Mariah.
and from afar. Oh, one syllable this time. Okay, not bad.
Just-
Not bad.
It's always awkward.
It's and we are trying to get one step closer to being those movie snobs we always desired to be. Maybe. Who knows? Until next week, keep watching movies. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.